So you may or may not have watched through a number of interviews of Michelle quizzing me around exactly what to say, sales, selling, and so much more. And I was just having a conversation with Michelle while we weren't rolling about YouTube. And then I'm like, hey, can we capture your answers for you folks at home? I got to meet Michelle through the $1 Million Speakers Group at National Speakers Association, where one of the things that she shared with us insightfully as a privileged group of speakers is how YouTube can be used with so much more intentionality to create better outcomes for speakers, coaches, consultants, trainers, people like you, people like me. So I'm putting Michelle in the hot seat and seeing what we can learn. But tell me this, is when did you first discover that YouTube was a useful tool to be able to actually bring more of the right people into your world?
Well, it started with a client that came to me for coaching services. And this is his area of expertise. His name's Nate Woodbury. He owns Be the Hero Studios. They're the producers of this channel. And so Nate was the one who said, listen, Michelle, I can't believe you're not using YouTube. It's so powerful. It's so valuable. Let me show you what it can do. And he was the first one to introduce me to the idea. I never thought of myself as a YouTube person. I don't like to do video very much. You know, I've learned to love it because he's taught me how to do it in a way that's enjoyable. But the truth is, I never considered it and wouldn't have had he not brought it to my attention.
Got it. And here's something I'm crazy curious about is, you know, video is something we're all pushed as personal brands. It's all about video. But why YouTube and not Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook ads? Why YouTube and not all of the others?
It's an incredible question because they are so different. YouTube gets lumped in with all these other quote unquote social media, but the big difference is every other type of social media that you mentioned is more like a billboard,
okay,
right? Where the billboard is up and people drive by it. And if they don't drive by it, they never see it. And if you do post something on social media, for example, if somebody doesn't see it in that moment, the chances are they'll never see it because it goes down in the feed and it's gone.
Okay.
And 3 weeks later, have you ever tried finding a post from a few weeks ago on Facebook? You can't do it. Whereas YouTube is like a library. It's a repository and it's a searchable database. It's the most incredible library in the world of how-to, of information. People are asking YouTube all the time, how to do this thing? Like it's a place people tend to go when they want to learn something and they want to even master something. As an expert teaching people how to learn things and master things, it's the perfect place to put your best content, your best teaser content that gets people in the door.
Okay. So the why is about creating this repository. It's about getting all the information in one place. But isn't there like a risk if you're putting your best stuff out there on YouTube and it's free and that you're offering online courses or that you've got retreats or that you want to be able to speak on this stuff? What happens if you just put all your good stuff out there for free? Isn't that going to damage stuff?
It hasn't for me. I'll tell you why I think that is because I worried about that too. And in the beginning, I'll be honest, there was a part of me that was like, well, I'm just going to give this little thing, and then bring them back. But what I've learned and what I know for sure, Phil, is that information is not transformation. Okay. And I am in the business of transformation. You can have all the information in the world. You know that how to lose weight, how to find a relationship, all of that is out there. How to build a business. You can find information up the wazoo, good information, the real stuff. And that doesn't mean people are going to actually do it effectively. Right. Coaching, I'm in the business of coaching, is really about dialing in to someone in particular and helping them rise. Yeah. So I can give people all the information in the world. And ultimately, the more I do that, the more trust I build. And the more I attract people who are like, wait, I want your eyes on my plan.
Right. So what you're saying is if you are in coaching, consulting, training, then by putting this stuff out there, you just create attraction magnets that brings people in the other direction. And you can then still go on to help them with implementation, personalization, execution, like actually getting this stuff done. But you win trust in these early contexts.
Yeah, and it's cumulative. Whereas social media, it's gone, right? And YouTube, I've got videos from 3 years ago that are now performing really, really well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. It reminds me of a famous quote from a friend of ours, Rory Vaden, that says, save your best for first.
Yes.
Right? Save your best for first. So where does somebody start if they're looking to be able to say, okay, I like this idea that Michelle's saying I should do more with YouTube, where's the starting position, and then how do you build out from there?
Well, I think, with everything we talk about, begin with the end in mind, right? Stephen Covey. And so the first thing to ask is, well, what do I want to get out of this? What is my intention here? And I think coming from an intention that's strategic, right? Well, I'm going to put content out there in this particular topic or this particular vein so that I can attract my people. Absolutely. And I think there's also an intention of service and contribution. That's really important. The energy, I like to say the energy precedes the outcomes, right? And so coming from an energy of service and contribution, I think that creates that energetic that people can feel, like you're in service. So I think that's the first thing. But the second thing that most people get wrong is they jump straight to, let me create a list of topics, things that I want to talk about, and then I'm going to create these topics, I'm going to put them on YouTube, and hopefully people will find them. And there is a much more strategic way to make sure that you're getting views right from the get-go. And that is to use a tool like a SEMrush is one of these tools. There are other tools out there. Nate taught me to use SEMrush. And there's a way that you can type in a concept. Like for you, it might be, sales conversations or sales communication or something like that. You can type that in, and then you can change some parameters so that you're looking for the questions that people are actually asking. Yeah. And you might find yourself being surprised by it. I remember I was. There were things that I thought people were asking that nobody was looking for, and then things I never would have imagined that hundreds of people were looking for. And so this tool, SEMrush, basically spits back to you a list of questions that people are actually asking. They might be asking, how do I overcome objections in a sales conversation? Now, even though you don't like the word objections, and you probably would never position something that way, knowing that your people are looking for that, you could title your video, How to Overcome Sales Objections, and then early in the video, you could even say, hey, I hate the word objections, or that's not how I look at this. What it is an invitation to go deeper. Yeah. So you can use it also as an opportunity to lead people towards a different way of thinking about something, but you're bringing them in by focusing on the things that they actually want to know and using those exact keyword questions to title your video and get those immediate hits.
Okay. So this reminds me of almost a methodology and thinking from Marcus Sheridan that wrote the book They Ask, You Answer.
Yes.
You're just saying, let's find out what they ask, and then you answer. And SEMrush is a tool. There's another one that I know of called answerthepublic.com.
Okay.
Which is just bigger and broader as well. It's not with the same specificity, but it's free. You can access it straight away and find out what the public are looking for questions around in a variety of different areas, just to give you an idea on this.
Yes.
I'm still confused about where to start, right? We're sat in a studio right now. We've got some cameras around us. We've got some equipment. We've got some people here helping us. If I'm a coach, consultant, trainer, and I'm at home today, and I'm like, I'm going to do video, now what?
Number one is think about what topics do you think, do the homework, find those phrases, and then find one. All right, I'm going to do this topic, for example, how to overcome objections, just to keep using that. You don't need all of this. You don't need the team. You don't need the microphones. You don't need the cameras. You can just do a video like this with a selfie stand. You could do it on your computer. But the key is to look into the camera, connect, and answer that question. Okay.
So we've got an idea, we're going to be creating some content, and that we've got the questions that are answered, etc. But how do you structure that content in a way that makes it make sense, makes it deliver an outcome, plays on the strategy where it isn't just 6, 8, 10, 12 minutes of noise?
I'm so glad you asked this question, because one of the key things about doing this effectively is the video has to perform. Okay. And you don't want to just do one video. You want to really put out consistent content over time. YouTube really likes it when you are constantly producing material and on a regular basis. So the idea is we want to put out videos that people are watching all the way through to the end. When people watch our content all the way through to the end, guess what YouTube does? It says, people like her content or his content. Let's send them to the next video and the next video and the next video. And you start to build audience that way. So in order to get people to watch all the way to the end, I've found a formula. I've created a formula that is not the only formula that works, but it's the formula that always works. And so I actually have a whole video on this formula. I'm going to give you the overview of it, but I'm also going to direct you to the formula itself in a video I did, which is how to create content, how to outline and structure content anytime, anywhere, for any reason. So the formula is you want to open with what Nate taught me is called a hook. The hook is basically a recap of the title. said in a very exciting way, like, get ready, we're about to do this thing. Okay. So you do your hook. Then you go into your, what Nate calls your curiosity hooks. These are 2 pieces I learned from him. The curiosity hooks, basically, this is the secret to getting people to watch all the way through to the end. The curiosity hooks tell them, in this video, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, and we're going to do this and this and this, and watch till the end, because at the end, we're going to cover this really cool thing. And we're going to give you 1 tip or 1 secret or something like that. So those curiosity hooks bring people all the way to the end. So you want to kind of connect with them at the beginning that tell them why you're going to watch this video all the way through, because we're going to do all these cool things. Then we move into what I call the why. And the why is this video valuable? Why it's important? Why are you going to want to watch all the way through? From the why, we usually set up some sort of problem, some sort of issue that people are facing. They're struggling with something. This video is going to be the solution to that. Then we move into the what. So it's why, then what. The what is, hey, this is the answer. This is the thing. So in the world of how to create YouTube videos, the answer is, hey, YouTube is different because of these reasons.
Right.
Like we did that. The YouTube is a library. And so it's a really powerful tool. And then what we're gonna do is figure out how to get people to watch your videos. And then we dive into the how. Like right now, we're doing the how. We're talking about how do you create a video, right? Oh, and by the way, in there somewhere, you want to weave through the who, which is, why are you an expert to talk about this? Why are you somebody I should listen to? And then finally, you always want to end with a now. So it's why, what, who, woven through, how, and then now, which is some sort of call to action.
Okay. And what you're saying is if people care about that, the call to action right now would be to go watch that deeper explanation of being able to build the content.
Exactly.
And I got just really one more question for you on this area right now is why would you not do this? What are reasons to not invest time, effort, energy into creating a curated series of YouTube videos?
Well, I think that what stops people usually is that they are scared. There's a fear of being rejected, or what if nobody watches my videos? What if I put it out there and I only get 1 view or 10 views and it's my mother, right? The beauty of this is that this model that I've learned from Nate that I use myself, it kind of obviates that issue.
Right.
Because you're never going to, if you do this process, you're never going to have just 1 or 10 views.
Yeah.
People will find your video, especially if it's, especially if you do the process the way I share it. So there really is no reason not to do it.
Okay, so no reason not to. And it's kind of funny you said it today. I've just got a reminder of a video I posted on my YouTube channel like 9 years ago on how to ask for referrals. I'm a decade younger or so, and it's badly produced. It was filmed with an iPhone, etc. Somebody took that same video, featured it in their own blog, shared it out to their email base, and we got like dozens of inbound followers and inquiries, etc. from a scrappy, lazy video we produced 9 years ago. So I think your point of the fact that the videos have the power to keep on giving, keep on giving, keep on giving, you're just planting seeds that could grow into bigger things over a period of time.
Well, and you might want to do a follow-up to that video.
Probably should.
Right?
Really,
Look
right?
at how well Top Gun, Reloaded or whatever did, do a part 2, do the updated version of that, and I'm sure that you'll see tons of traffic to it.
Awesome. Michelle, like, you're not a YouTube expert, I'm not a YouTube expert. We're here talking about YouTube, but what can people learn more about you, your work, etc., if they're understanding the kind of value that you can bring to them holistically? Particularly if this is somebody finding this video because they know me and not you. How do they know where you can help?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me that question, because I was thinking to myself, well, all of this works really well if you're clear about who you are, what your gifts are, what your programs are, what your value proposition is, how you package and structure your coaching services. So that's the work that I do with people, is basically I get them ready to put themselves out there on YouTube and get all these leads by creating a new model. Most of my clients tend to be people like us, coaches, authors, speakers, who are looking to step into a new model, a model that has what I call a big back end, which is monthly recurring revenue, which we love, mostly group coaching, masterminds, retreats, small events. So most of my work centers around the strategy of creating a new model that is more leveraged and scalable than a one-to-one or than a keynote speaking business, helping people design that and then implement it and support it with the mindset and the personal development that helps them step onto into a bigger model, into a bigger leadership role.
So this is really like, if you are a coach, trainer, consultant looking to be able to take it to the next level, you're going to help them refine their message, then the method that they then deliver that message, and then the modality of building a business system around it with just increased clarity across all those areas.
Yes, and the mindset to support all of that.
Awesome. And where do people go to find out more about that?
Superstaractivator.com. I would invite them to subscribe to this channel. I've got over 500 videos at this point about how to build and grow a business. And then my signature offering, my foundational offering, is called the Superstar Business Breakthrough. And it's essentially a program where people do that work in a very compressed amount of time and walk away with that clarity and focus.
Love it, love it, love it. And if you're watching this home right now and that you want to just put some comments in that show some love for Michelle and all the great stuff that she does across the channel, I know that she feeds on your energy. So light it up best you possibly can and tell us what you're going to do with YouTube as a result of listening to Michelle today.
Woo! Thank you. And a strategy session, I don't position it as free. I position it as having value, and it's a gift to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's really special. By the way, that's something I do and I recommend across the board, is creating a value proposition for the discovery call. Yeah.